So much news breaking. You feel when you sit in this chair like Paul Revere. The British are coming. The British are coming. Well, an enemy in many forms is coming. Donald J. Trump, with every decision he makes, with every word he speaks, his threat level goes up. He gave his first press conference since his election was certified. And what did he do? Trust me, as you would expect, he brought his danger level up even higher. A no-holds-barred press conference. He said things the world needed to hear. Of course, they didn't want to hear it. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because out comes this leaked memo, requesting something allegedly never requested before. And what's it focus on? Inauguration Day. A medical deployment being requested. The first of its kind? Just another of the many warning signs I've been covering, because my only priority right now is assuring that Donald J. Trump makes it into office safely. Until he's in that presidential seat, presidential pen in hand, nothing will change. And with every word he speaks, again, he puts himself in further danger, but that is the nature of the position. It's what needs to be done right now. And so we will watch for every warning sign and bring it to you in the hopes and the prayers, which we always have for Donald J. Trump, because right now, this great republic of the United States needs him now more than ever. I'm going to cover this leaked memo. I'm going to cover much more news here in just 1 minute. Okay, let's start here. Disgusting. U.S. House passes Laken Riley Act. That's not the disgusting thing. It should have passed resoundingly. It should have passed. In my opinion, with 0 opposing votes. But no, that's not what we get, do we? We get 159 Democrats voting against the Laken Riley Act. How in this green earth can anyone explain to me a vote of no against this act? You can't. You could try. Go ahead and put it in the comments. It's a stone cold hard no for me. The bill was named after 22-year-old Laken Riley, a University of Georgia student who was recently murdered by a Venezuelan illegal. The illegal alien who murdered Laken Riley crossed into the U.S. on Biden's open border policies. The bill requires, here's what it required, that ICE agents detain illegal aliens, pretty common sense, right? Like Laken Riley's murder, until they are removed from the U.S. You come in illegally, you're detained, you're sent back. Simple concept. One the Biden administration can comprehend, obviously. Her encounter with Diego Ibarra, I'm not going to give him any nicknames, ended in her death. What was she doing that was so wrong? She was running. Thursday, February 22nd, caught on camera, phone in hand. A heartbreaking 911 call. The only voice you hear is a male's voice. But she fought back. She fought back against her attacker. Wouldn't allow him to do what he wanted to do. It ends up in her death. The clothes, the DNA, the hair forcibly removed, found in a dumpster, of which he is caught on tape putting the clothes in that dumpster. And as she fought back, he grabbed this rock, and this is more than likely what ended her life. I'm trying to stay away from some of the details. It's hard to even speak of. There he is, throwing the evidence away. Imagine being a mother or father, sister, brother, friend, having to listen to those tapes, see this evidence, watch the attacker stone-faced, a murderer stone-faced in courtroom. No emotions. And then imagine having to watch this vote and seeing a 159 of those elected to represent we the people, the citizens of the great republic of the United States, vote no. Where's our morals? Where's our values? just one of many stories. Rumors swirling now that General Mark, who I cannot stand. Miley, you hear it pronounced a million ways, makes no difference to me. Allegedly now has authorized, or did authorize, the use of heat and sound directed energy weapons during the 2020 riots. Now, those weapons are very unique. Let's say they have a switch, and the switch goes one of two ways: audible and sub-audible. One you can hear, one you cannot. The one you can hear is made for crowd dispersement, so loud and penetrating that the only choice you have is to run away from it. The other setting, well, that you don't hear, and that just drives you crazy. You heard it referred to before as the voice of God, people hearing things in their mind, something that they couldn't comprehend. A weapon that exists, there's no question of that, but to be used against U.S. citizens, allegedly, this story we will be covering. The sub-audible would turn people crazy and violent, not even knowing why they may be doing so. If that is proven to be used against U.S. citizens, our least favorite general has a lot of answers he has to give. And we will be keeping a close eye on that story. I didn't want you to think we missed it. We didn't. We missed nothing here. And I'm not going to miss what Mark Zuckerberg is doing either. Good old Mark has decided to do an about-face suddenly. After suppressing conservative news for years on top of years on top of years, imagine how many millions of dollars he has taken out of the pockets of conservative journalists simply trying to bring you the truth. But now when Trump's coming in, suddenly he wants to be the good guy. Mark, we're not going to fall for it. I'm not going to forgive, and I'm not going to forget, because suddenly you made it about face. Because the minute a Democrat maybe takes office again, hopefully never, you'll reverse course. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You're going to get rid of your suppression engine and now just simply use community notes. Just like Elon Musk did. And we're going to sit here to believe you? No. No, you fought against this too hard for me to ever forget what you did. Now, conservative news like we do here on this channel requires your support. We can make a choice, a line in the sand, to go ahead and use corporate sponsorships and everything else to keep things going, but some of us choose not to, like me, because I want to keep my message mine. I want to be beholden to no one, and I do that in two ways. One here on YouTube, and your support is truly the only way that this continues to move forward. For those of you who joined in the membership platform here, I can't thank you enough. I work hard to get to your comments, make sure you get them first and foremost, because it means the world to me. A simple word, 2 words, a sentence shows me I'm on the right course, and lately you have told me I am, by not only the membership drive that has grown exponentially, thank you so very much, but also all of you that have joined Lisa and me on Restricted Republic. It's a unique news site. It was created by us. It's owned by us. It's run by us. No sponsors, no backers. There's not even any commercials there. We take out all the commercials that you see on these videos, which are plugged in with outside of my control. So all you get is stone cold hard facts, referenced and researched on every single video. That's why so many have joined there, because now you can turn off your notifications. You need them no longer, because we'll bring you everything that's important in one website, one notification, maybe 2 or 3, depending on how many videos we do a day. Generally, you'll get 3 there every day, sometimes more. You see, the news never stops, we never sleep, and we never stop. And I need you there today. And to enjoy it, please use discount code Trump47. This deal will go away because, unfortunately, expenses and costs continue to rise and escalate, so I won't be able to offer this much longer. Trump47 gets you $2.99 a month for 3 years. You can cancel anytime. Go on your dashboard and do so. That's how confident we are that once you're there, you'll go nowhere else for your news that matters. Trump47 in monthly discount code, restrictedrepublic.com today. Show that you believe in what I'm doing. Support me for what I'm doing, and I'll continue to do it. I promise you that. Can't wait to see you there. But now, let's get back to this video. Now, the Biden administration's simply not going to go away. No, they're going to try to make as many people's lives miserable as humanly possible. For those of you that enjoy your cigarette in the day and morning at night, not saying it's the healthiest habit, but I'm not here to judge. But you see, Biden not only now wants to take away your menthol cigarettes, he wants to take away all cigarettes. Now, the problem with that argument is people will still get cigarettes. And who would possibly benefit from this decision? Could it be the cartels? Could it be China, who will still find a way to assure that those cigarettes make it here illegally? We've done such a good job of stopping the border illegals right now. So why would they be able to stop this? So is this a benefit to the cartel? Even Fox News claims it is on this article. The Biden administration works to effectively ban all cigarettes in the 11th hour proposal, a gift to cartels. He explained that Mexican cartels are well positioned to bring illegal tobacco across the border, as they do with substances such as fentanyl that have devastated communities across the U.S., while Chinese criminal organizations have some of the best counterfeit operations stretching from baby formula to cigarettes. And don't think for a minute they won't exploit this decision, another decision of Biden's that makes no sense whatsoever. But we're leading up to the inauguration. Everything, even this report, leads up to the inauguration. It's what we're laser focused on right now. And that report by Jack Smith that was going to be put out on the Trump investigation has temporarily been blocked by the 11th Circuit Court. Now, do I believe it will come out before that day? I do. I don't think anyone will attempt or be able to stop this. They want to tarnish this man's reputation. And why do they want to tarnish it so bad? Because they have too much to hide. The FBI is now selectively unredacting documents in the origins of Crossfire Hurricane, Russiagate as we call it. The document that once looked like this now looks like that. Magically and mystically, they're trying to uncover for their secrets of the past so that Trump can't be seen as exposing the truth. They'll continue to do this or continue to run the shredders as quick as humanly possible before his administration gets in and exposes it for you. Here's another view of that document, approved by James Baker at the time. And what it states is at the direction of the Assistant Director of the FBI, FBI's Counterintelligence Division, Following consultation with the Office of General Counsel, the FBI is opening blank. We know what they opened. Based on our articulable factual basis that reasonably indicates that President Donald J. Trump, you see my yellow arrow there, may or maybe or has been wittingly or unwittingly involved in activities for or on behalf of the government of the Russian Federation, which may constitute a violation of federal law, federal criminal law, or threats to the national security of the United States. The goal of the investigation is to determine if President Trump is or was directed by, controlled by, and or coordinated activities with the Russian Federation in a manner constituting a threat to the national security of the United States and or a violation of federal criminal statutes. In addition, this investigation will also seek to determine whether President Trump and others yet to be named obstructed and or conspired to obstruct any FBI-associated investigation. My question is this: how can someone unwittingly be indicted by the FBI? Just imagine that statement alone and you wonder why they leave this redacted. President Trump did not know that things around him may be leading to a connection with Russia that was already proven to be fraudulent through a hoax document put out there by Christopher Steele. And so we should launch an investigation to ruin his life and the lives of everyone surrounding it. Wonder why they left it redacted for so long. Now they're going to make this innocuous and try to pass it underneath the desk as quick as they can, put it in the circular trash bin next to it, but nah. You got to call attention to these matters because words matter. Unwittingly matters. In other words, you knew he had no idea what you were talking about. You knew he had no part in it. But that didn't stop the investigations, now did it? The man that they fear most, the man on your screen, the man who now proposes, well, listen in here.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name.
Now, Trump is very articulate in these statements, very measured in these statements, because you've heard about the Gulf of Mexico, you've heard about the Panama Canal, you've heard about Greenland. Don't think for a moment that these are not all strategic maneuvers, either critical canals or strategic defense points or strategic oil reserves. Take any avenue you want. Even Fetterman now coming out and saying, this is a good conversation to have about Greenland. You see, when you actually talk rationally and you're concerned about the American people, I can't believe I'm even saying it about Fetterman again, then facts overdo political leaning. And that's all we've seen lately, is one political side getting what they believe is best for you. In the conditions sections of the treaty concerning the permanent neutrality and operation of the Panama Canal, but it's not neutral anymore, is it? And this map goes to prove why it's not neutral anymore. I'll go full screen so you can look at it with me. Expansion of one of the airports with third runway and third terminal for Chinese infrastructure contracts, or the 25-year concession to Hutchinson Port Holdings, a China container port, or the Chinese cruise terminal. You see, there seems to be a lot of influence by China. Per Trump, it is China who is running the Panama Canal, and we did not give that to them to run. Let's listen to what he has to say. Now, I should start by saying the question was, can you assure the world that you will not use the military to secure Greenland and Panama? That's the origin question, and here's Trump's answer.
Ask the Canadians to hold a vote. What is the strategy?
Yeah, I can't assure you, you're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something. Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China.
Factual, accurate, but yet it's changed. And so why has the current administration not done anything to secure these key trade routes, to secure the great United States of America? And that's all Donald Trump's doing, but the world's not going to want to hear that now, are they? And so, of course, we're concerned about the threat level. The threat level everywhere. And you think it's only Greenland and Canada and Panama he's talking to? No. He's got bigger organizations he's talking to right now. Organizations that have already threatened America, have already attacked America and Americans here and abroad. And he has words for them, too.
No, I think they heard him loud and clear. Better get done by the inaugural.
But when you say all hell will
Before
be paid,
I
or
take
that all hell must be paid if they don't release the hostages.
You know what that means, don't you?
Well,
do I have to define it for you? Look, all
No, I know
hell
you're not
will
gonna
break
telegraph
out.
what
If those
the-
hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
Can you elaborate?
And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Hamas released the hostages before Inauguration Day, or all hell will break loose. And it's why here we have kept such a focus on what's occurring in the background. And not only us, responsible journalists, James O'Keefe being one, has continued also to watch this pulse, this drumbeat behind the scenes of the danger and threat level on Donald J. Trump raising. And a document gets leaked to him. A document, to be more specific, a memorandum from the Department of Veteran Affairs, the executive director, Justus to be more specific. And it says presidential inauguration support deployment request. Now, James speaks on this further. It is a request for medical personnel. And you get a mixed message depending on who you ask. One department points to another, stating that this is perfectly normal. The other department defers to the other department. Well, you have to ask them if it's perfectly normal. James states, what's concerning me was that this has never been requested before, especially not from the HHS. And I apologize, it was the leaker that stated this. An insider within the Department of Veteran Affairs told O'Keefe Media Group, revealing an internal memorandum requesting medical personnel ahead of the 2025 presidential inauguration. Now, it's important to me that in the comments below you put what your thoughts of this are. I'm going to read the rest of this for you. Am I overly concerned? Am I spending too much time focusing on this? To me, I'm being a responsible journalist, calling out every warning sign that so Trump and his team, which can't possibly watch everything at all times. Sometimes people assume these teams are bigger than they are, that there's this octopus of intelligence out there feeding Trump things at all times, and there is in some ways. But no one could see everything. No one could raise the alarm bells loud enough if someone's in danger. These teams aren't as big as they appear. It's one person like you and me, and it could depend on the day. How distracted are they? Did they miss one warning sign? Did it not get to Trump's desk? And so we will continue to be the Paul Revere of danger and warning signs as long as we need to be. And honestly, that goes for any politician. No one should ever be threatened with danger. But signs like this, and O'Keefe goes on. So what concerns me is this has never been requested before. This is the insider within the Department of Veteran Affairs, told the O'Keefe Media Group, revealing an internal memorandum requesting medical personnel ahead of the 2025 presidential inauguration. The documents addressed to Dr. Paul D. Kim of the Veterans Health Administration Office of Emergency Management details a formal appeal for paramedics, emergency nurses, and doctors. And when James O'Keefe called them and questioned them, if it was typical for the Office of Emergency Management to administer this kind of memorandum for previous inaugurations, Derek Justus, the executive director who wrote the memo, says I was not with the organization, so I can't speak to that. Now, Derek Justus, being the executive director, should have those answers. But what does he do? He defers to the public affairs specialist of the department. And asked by OMG journalist if the deployment of medical personnel by HHS was typical for a presidential inauguration, he gives a similar response. I personally can't speak to previous inaugurations. And despite a Freedom of Information Act request to the Department of Health and Human Services, they didn't receive an explanation. But this document and the purpose of the memorandum is to request 2 paramedics, 2 registered nurses, 2 doctors of medicine, doctors of osteopathic medicine, practitioner, physician assistant, to support the presidential inauguration between the dates of January 17th and the 21st. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Strategic Preparedness and Response has requested the Veterans Health Administration support the presidential inauguration with the above professionals as part of the National Disaster Medical System. Now, to me, it's just another of many documents, requests, and initiatives that raise concern. We know Trump is in danger, and the more he speaks of what he's going to do, the more danger he will be in. The closer it gets to him sitting in that presidential desk and grabbing that presidential pen puts him in more danger. So these warning signs may result in nothing. We pray that they result in nothing. But you see, by exposing the truth and the work that James O'Keefe does, it's imperative, because sometimes exposing the truth and getting it loud enough and getting it shared enough and getting it heard enough prevents action on what could potentially be an action that nobody wants to see taken. To me, the most suspicious part of that document, if it's a overall event, that's not nearly enough personnel to cover it. No, that indicates care for one person, maybe two. And that is where my concern is laser focused right now. Donald J. Trump needs to take office. You feel the same thing I do. I can't wait to read your comments below. Man, every day we seem to find something else along these lines, don't we? Something we should never, ever have to report on. But right now, it is the only choice we have. This great republic is at stake. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.